Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sharing a story about secrets, late night conversations, and discovering that the person sleeping in the room next to yours has been hiding something life-changing. My name is Leo. I'm 22 years old, and this is the story of how my roommate's secret turned our friendship into something I never saw coming. Before we start, if you enjoy real LGBTQ stories, please hit that like button and subscribe. This one gets emotional, so grab some tissues. Let's dive in. This story starts last August. I'd just graduated college and moved to Chicago for my first job as a junior accountant. The salary was decent, but Chicago rent definitely wasn't. I needed a roommate fast. I posted on a roommate finding app. Within 2 days, I got a message from someone named Adrian. He was also 22, working as a graphic designer, looking for a place to split. His profile seemed normal, his references checked out, and when we video called, he seemed cool. "So you're okay with having a gay roommate?" I asked during our call, wanting to be upfront. Adrian didn't even hesitate. "Of course, I'm looking for a roommate, not a date. Your personal life is your business." I liked that answer. Direct, no weird energy. We found a decent 2-bedroom apartment in Lincoln Park and moved in together in early September. And honestly, the first month was perfect. Adrian was clean, quiet, paid his half of everything on time. We'd cook dinner together sometimes, watch TV, chat about our days. Easy, comfortable roommate vibes. But there was something I couldn't quite put my finger on. Adrian was private, really private. He never talked about his family, never mentioned friends from home, never brought anyone over. When I'd ask about his weekend plans, he'd give vague answers like just staying in or catching up on work. "You're like a ghost, man," I joked one night while we were making pasta. "Do you have a social life outside this apartment?" Adrian laughed, but it didn't reach his eyes. "I'm just an introvert. I like my space." I dropped it. Everyone has their boundaries, right? But as weeks turned into months, I started noticing more things. Adrian would get phone calls and immediately leave the room, even if he was in the middle of watching a movie with me. He'd come back 10 minutes later looking stressed, but if I asked if everything was okay, he'd just say family stuff and change the subject. His laptop was always angled away from me, always, even when we were just sitting on the couch together, like he was constantly hiding his screen. And then there were the late nights. I'd wake up at 2, 3 in the morning to get water, and I'd hear him pacing in his room, or talking in hushed, urgent tones on the phone. "Adrian, seriously, are you okay?" I asked him one morning after a particularly loud night. "I heard you up really late." He looked exhausted. Dark circles under his eyes, hair messy. "Yeah, sorry. Did I wake you?" "A little. Is everything all right?" "You seemed really stressed lately." "It's just work stuff," he said quickly. "Big project deadline. I'm fine." But he didn't look fine. He looked like he was carrying the weight of the world. I wanted to push, to ask more questions, but we weren't that close yet. We were friendly roommates, not best friends. I didn't feel like I had the right to pry. Things came to a head in late November, about 3 months after we'd moved in together. It was a Friday night. I'd gone out for drinks with some coworkers and came home around 11. The apartment was dark except for a light under Adrian's door. I was heading to my room when I heard it. Crying, not soft crying, but the kind of sobbing that sounds like your heart is breaking. I stood in the hallway, frozen. Should I knock? Give him privacy? What if something serious happened? I knocked gently. "Adrian, you okay in there?" The crying stopped immediately. "I'm fine." "Go to bed, Leo. You don't sound fine. Just leave me alone, please." Something in his voice made me ignore that request. "I'm not leaving until you tell me what's wrong. You can talk to me, you know?" Long silence. Then I heard footsteps, and the door opened. Adrian looked destroyed. His eyes were red and swollen, his face blotchy from crying. He was wearing an old college sweatshirt and looked smaller somehow, more vulnerable than I'd ever seen him. "Can I come in?" I asked gently. He nodded and stepped back. Adrian's room was neat as always, but his bed was a mess of tissues. He'd clearly been crying for a while. We sat on his bed, and I waited. Sometimes people just need space to find the words. My parents called tonight, Adrian finally said, his voice rough. They wanted to know when I'm coming home for Thanksgiving. And that made you cry? He laughed bitterly. It's complicated. Try me. Adrian took a shaky breath. My family. They don't know me. The real me. They know the version of me I've been pretending to be for 22 years. My heart started racing. I had a feeling I knew where this was going. What do you mean? I asked gently. Adrian looked at me, his eyes filling with tears again. I'm gay, Leo, and my family can't know. They can never know. The way he said it, with such desperation and fear, broke my heart. Why can't they know? I asked. Because they're extremely religious, conservative. The kind of people who think being gay is a choice, sin, something that can be prayed away. My older brother came out when I was 15, and they... They kicked him out, disowned him. I haven't seen him in 7 years, oh God. So you've been hiding who you are this whole time? I said. Adrian nodded, tears streaming down his face. Every phone call, every visit home, every family event, I have to pretend to be someone I'm not. They ask about girlfriends. They try to set me up with daughters of people from church. And I have to smile and play along because the alternative is losing them completely. Is that why you wanted a gay roommate? I asked, pieces clicking together. So you could be yourself at home at least. Adrian wiped his eyes. Yeah, I thought. I thought if I lived with someone who was openly gay, someone comfortable with themselves, maybe some of that confidence would rub off on me. Maybe I'd finally find the courage to tell my family, but you haven't. I can't, he said, his voice breaking. You don't understand what it's like. You came out and your family accepted you. Your friends accepted you. You get to live your life openly. I don't have that luxury. It was right. I'd been lucky. My parents had been surprised but supportive. My friends didn't care. I'd never had to hide who I was. Tonight my mom told me she's been talking to this girl from church, Adrian continued. She wants to introduce us over Thanksgiving. She sounded so happy, so hopeful. And I can't keep doing this. But I also can't lose my family. What about your brother? I asked. The one they kicked out. Do you talk to him? Adrian shook his head. I don't know where he is. My parents destroyed all evidence he ever existed. Photos, yearbooks, everything. It's like he never was part of the family. The cruelty of that made me sick. I'm so sorry, I said. I can't imagine how hard this has been, the worst part. Adrian said quietly. I'm angry at myself for being a coward. My brother was brave. He told the truth even though he knew what would happen. And I'm just... hiding. Lying. Every single day. We sat in silence for a moment. Then I asked something that had been nagging at me. Is there someone? Like, are you seeing anyone? Adrian's face flushed. No, how could I? I can't date. I can't bring anyone home. I can't even use dating apps because what if someone from my hometown sees me? My parents have friends everywhere. So you're just... alone? Yeah. Alone and closeted and slowly dying inside. He laughed, but it sounded painful. Pretty pathetic, right? It's not pathetic, I said firmly. You're surviving in an impossible situation. That takes strength. Adrian looked at me. Really looked at me for the first time tonight. Can I tell you something else? Something I probably shouldn't tell you? Of course. He took a deep breath. Part of why I wanted to room with you specifically. It wasn't just because you're gay. It's because when we video called that first time, I thought you were the most attractive person I'd ever seen. And I knew that was a terrible reason to pick a roommate, but I did it anyway. My heart stopped. Adrian, I know, he said quickly. I'm not trying to make this weird. You're my roommate. We live together. It would be a disaster. But you asked why I've been so private, so distant. It's because I've been trying really hard not to develop feelings for you. And clearly I'm failing. I sat there, completely stunned. My roommate, my quiet, private, mysterious roommate, just confessed he had feelings for me. How long? I asked. Since day one, Adrian admitted, but it's gotten worse. Living with you, seeing you every day, watching you be so comfortable in your own skin. You're everything I wish I could be. And yeah, I'm attracted to you. But more than that, I think I'm falling for who you are as a person. I needed to be honest with him. He'd been so vulnerable, so brave in telling me all of this. Adrian, I need to tell you something too, I said. I've noticed you. I mean, really noticed you. You're smart, talented, kind, and yes, you're attractive. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about what it would be like if you were interested. His eyes widened. Really? Really? But I held back because I thought you were straight. You never talked about guys, never gave any indication. I just assumed. I'm really good at hiding, Adrian said quietly. Too good, I agreed. But now that I know, we need to talk about what this means. I know, he said. We're roommates. This could complicate everything. I shouldn't have said anything. I'm glad you did, I told him. But you're right. We need to be smart about this. You're dealing with a lot right now. Coming to terms with your sexuality, figuring out your family situation. Adding a relationship into that mix could be overwhelming. Adrian nodded, looking disappointed but understanding. But I continued, that doesn't mean we can't explore this. We just need to do it carefully, honestly, with clear communication. A small smile appeared on his face. You'd want to try? Even knowing how complicated my life is? Complicated doesn't scare me, I said. But I need you to promise me something. You need to start working on coming out. Not to your family necessarily, not right away, but to yourself. To your friends. You can't stay in the closet forever, Adrian. It's killing you. Over the next few weeks, Adrian and I started something we didn't label it. We weren't boyfriends, but we were more than friends. We'd stay up late talking, really talking about everything. His childhood, his fears, his dreams. I learned about his brother Marcus, who he missed every day. I learned about the church his parents belonged to, the pressure he'd felt his entire life to be perfect. I used to pray every night that I'd wake up straight. Adrian told me one night, I thought if I prayed hard enough, God would fix me. You don't need to be fixed, I said, taking his hand. There's nothing wrong with you. Slowly, carefully, we started exploring our feelings physically too. Nothing rushed. Just small things. Holding hands while watching TV, falling asleep on the couch together. One night while we were watching a movie, Adrian kissed me. It was soft, tentative, like he was afraid I'd pull away. But I didn't. I kissed him back, and it felt right. Was that okay? He asked when we pulled apart. More than okay, I assured him. But it wasn't all easy. Adrian still struggled. He'd have panic attacks about his parents finding out. He'd see someone from his hometown and freeze, convinced they'd somehow know and tell his family. You're safe here, I'd remind him. In this apartment, you can be yourself. But that's the problem, he said. I can only be myself in secret. Behind closed doors? What kind of life is that? The real turning point came in early December. Adrian's parents were pressuring him to come home for Christmas and bring the girl from church they'd been telling him about. I can't do it, Adrian told me, pacing our living room. I can't go home and pretend anymore. But I also can't tell them the truth. They'll disown me like they did Marcus. What if you tried to find Marcus? I suggested. What if you reached out to him first? Adrian stopped pacing. What? You said you don't know where he is, but there's social media people's search sites. What if we tried to find him? He went through this same thing. He might have advice. I wouldn't even know where to start. Let me help you, I said. We spent the next 3 days searching. Finally, we found him. Marcus Chen, living in Portland, working as a software engineer. He had a Facebook profile, and in his photos, he looked happy. He had a partner, friends, a whole life. Adrian stared at the screen, tears streaming down his face. He's okay. He's more than okay. He looks happy. Do you want to message him? I asked. Adrian's hand hovered over the keyboard. What if he doesn't want to hear from me? I didn't reach out after they kicked him out. I was just a kid, but still. I abandoned him. There's only one way to find out. Adrian took a deep breath and started typing. Marcus responded within an hour. His message was long, emotional, and so full of love it made both of us cry. He said he'd thought about reaching out too. Adrian 1,000 times, but didn't want to put him in danger. He understood why Adrian hadn't contacted him. He'd been waiting, hoping that one day Adrian would be ready. They video called that night. I gave Adrian privacy, but when he came out of his room an hour later, he was smiling through tears. He wants me to come visit, Adrian said. For Christmas, he said I can bring you too if I want. Do you want me there? I asked. More than anything. We flew to Portland 2 weeks before Christmas. Meeting Marcus was surreal. He looked like an older version of Adrian, but there was a lightness to him that Adrian didn't have yet. The freedom that comes from living authentically. Marcus and his partner Ben welcomed us into their home like family. And for the first time, I saw Adrian truly relax. He didn't have to hide, didn't have to pretend. He could hold my hand, kiss me, be himself. You seem different here, I told him one night. I feel different, Adrian said. Like I can finally breathe. On Christmas Eve, Adrian made a decision. He called his parents. I sat with him, holding his hand while he dialed. Marcus was there too on the other side, showing silent support. Mom? Dad, I need to tell you something, Adrian began, his voice shaking. I'm gay. I've known for years, and I can't keep pretending anymore. I couldn't hear their response, but I saw Adrian's face crumble. Tears streamed down his cheeks as he listened. I love you too, he said. But I can't lie anymore. If you can't accept me, then I guess this is goodbye. He hung up, and then he broke down, sobbing in Marcus's arms. It was devastating to watch, but also, in a strange way, beautiful. Because Adrian had finally told his truth, he'd chosen himself. That was 3 months ago. Adrian's parents haven't contacted him since that call. It's been hard, really hard. There are days when he questions if he made the right choice, but he has Marcus now, and Marcus's chosen family. And me, Adrian and I, are together. Really together? He's still working on his confidence, still healing from years of hiding. But every day, he gets a little braver, a little more himself. Last week, he changed his Facebook profile to public for the first time. He posted a photo of us together with the caption, "Finally living my truth." My roommate's secret was more than just friendship. It was years of pain, fear, and hiding. But it was also hope. The hope that one day he could be free, and now he is. If you're struggling with coming out, if you're hiding who you are, please know this. You deserve to live authentically. You deserve to be loved for exactly who you are. And yes, it might cost you people who can't accept you, but you'll find your people, your chosen family, the ones who love you unconditionally. Adrian found his. And it started with one brave moment of truth. Thanks for watching, everyone. If this story touched you, please like and subscribe. Drop a comment, sharing your own journey, or supporting others who are still struggling. Remember, you're not alone, and it gets better. Take care.